Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Fortnite videos. This here is what this video is gonna be about: the Black Scar, the Nocturno, the famous, crazy, popular, now removed, well, sorta anyway, gun in the game. And this here is how mine looks with the energy perk active. There has been a lot of hype about this weapon because the only way to obtain it, the face of the game, as you can see here, Ramirez holding it on every pretty picture of Fortnite. The only way you could get it was by buying the absolute top cream of the crop package upgrade for your account for $250 in total, and now those have been removed, which makes pretty good sense because we have been in early access for a long period of time, and having a weapon such as this really makes little sense any longer since the game has become so much more easy. And because we're getting legendary weapons and heroes all the time during the weekly stuff, so why would anyone pay for this right now besides getting this image here? Regardless, what I'm showing you guys here is the weapon as it is with no perks from the heroes. 3,561.9 damage per bullet is what it deals when no heroes are giving it any bonus whatsoever. And of course you can see the fixed perks that all Nocturno weapons have right now. So just to give you guys an idea about how the damage bonus works, I'm slotting in Rabbit Ranger Jonesy here, and you can see he increases ranged weapon damage by 10%. So for comparison, we now have 3,835.9, and we can one-up this a few times by combining and selecting different heroes as the main primary heroes, such as Rescue Trooper Ramirez here or Love Ranger Jonesy. These characters have 35% increase, they have 10% for all ranged damage weapons, and then they have 24% additional damage for assault rifles, bringing it up to almost 4,500. We can one-up this even further by putting in Wukong, leveled up here, as you can see, 24% increased weapon damage as well, to 5,151.1 damage, and Master Grenadier can also be used for that as well. Because she is power level 130 for me, she just increases my health and shield even more. So that is like, wow, the top and the bottom of what I can deal damage-wise with my Nocturno. The Nocturno is a light ammunition weapon. It can hold 5,000 ammunition, like you can have that crafted in your inventory. And it means that it fires like lightweight bullets that don't deal that much damage, but you can go spray crazy pants with them. So whenever you hit, you're not really going to be getting that much damage from your actual bullet, but you can hit a lot of times in a short time. With these like small burst kind of attacks, you can like really focus your fire on a small area to get really cool damage. The problem with weapons like this is that if you hold down your firing button, the weapon is gonna go crazy. You're gonna be shooting right and left and up and down. And you really want to make each and every one of these small bullets count in order to optimize your DPS on it, because headshotting deals a lot more damage, for instance. So being sure to hold your damage within the face area of an opponent is super important in terms of getting the most out of your weapon. And also your ammunition for that sake. So as you can see here, the Nocturno with like my best hero build in a power level 100 map, that is the highest map in Twine Peaks with no like crazy boosts. It deals between 5 and 10,000 damage when headshotting a mist monster, a blaster. That is per bullet. So that is pretty insane even in the high like end game for dealing with mobs individually. Some things such as smashers and treasure chests here, mimics, are a completely different story. This is not a crowd control weapon. You deal a low amount of damage with each bullet, and in order for you to be efficient with it, you can't just go spraying around randomly because you are dealing too little damage for it to count. You're also dealing energy damage, which is slightly efficient against anything, but not really amazing against anything either. And in the end game, you absolutely need to have something that deals much more damage if you want to go like area of effect crazy with your damage. So with a weapon such as the Nocturno in the end game, headshotting is the key. You absolutely need to headshot, and even when you do that, when you do something such as beehives, you need to shoot multiple times to crack it. So that is like, I think you guys can already see here that the Nocturno is really not as strong as the hype about it when you reach the end of the like almost developed game. If you check out my battle here against Fire Smasher, you can really see that it is pretty insignificant. It deals no impact whatsoever. There is no staggering, there is no knockback. You can hold back a blaster with your Nocturno, no problems. It just eats blasters. But if you are taking on a Smasher, you need to consider your options, because as you can see here, it's actually a grind to take it down. You're just like scraping bits and bytes and chunks of its health bar away with every single small tiny bullet, dealing these around 7,000 damage each time. This is with a capped hero, 3 capped heroes focused completely on assault weapon damage. Of course my assault weapon is only 106, and it's probably never gonna be upgraded more than that, because bottom line is really, this is an amazing weapon. It just really stops being super efficient when you like reach the end of Candy Valley, because the amount of damage you deal per bullet doesn't scale as much as the health of the opponents. I have selected here to take again the weakest build. I'm taking a constructor in the field. I'm having bonuses in the support and tactical slots for her that don't deal any bonuses to assault weapon damage, and then I've jumped into a power level 15 mission in Stonewood, an encampment mission. And this is where you can really see the hype about the Nocturno. This is probably the most insane weapon you can have for progression in the game. I'm capped here, of course I am strong, but I'm capped. I'm dealing around 200 damage per shot, as you can see here. Still energy damage, but we don't have that many elemental husks in the early game. So when you are running around here, you can spray these 200-ish damage like crazy. It fires very, very fast, which means that you can actually use your Nocturnal weapon as a crowd control weapon. It doesn't really matter that much about hitting, like face, not at all, because you just hold down your fire button and you go a little to the right, a little to the left, a little bit up, a little bit down, and things die. You can even use it to pretty efficiently do the whack-a-mole kind of thing to, like, you don't need to worry too much. The spread it has isn't that bad, and the health of the husks in Stonewood is just nothing compared to what damage you deal with a legendary weapon. And of course I do have the perks for higher upgrades like unlocked with this weapon, but the Founder's weapon also unlock their perks earlier than normal weapons, meaning that you don't need to have it evolved as much in order to unlock the additional perks. And that is why the Founder's weapons are insane for progressing, or they were, because it was a guaranteed legendary, high rolls on the damage, crazy early perks, and you could just use it to progress through the game like crazy, because the only way you were going to obtain a legendary in the game was to get it from a llama. And like, things have been made a great deal more casual and easy since then, both in terms of the amount of drops you get, the chance to get them, and how easy you can earn the V-Bucks. All that stuff has really been like one-upped. Even your login rewards are now better than they were before. So you have perhaps not equal options, but a weapon such as the Dragon's Roar is also crazy for progression due to the fact that it has this damage over time option. I've now once again swapped around to my best build for the assault rifle, and as you can see, I'm dealing 300 to 450 damage per shot with the Nocturno. Again, this is the same map, power level 15 Stonewood encampment map, and this is just crazy. I mean, if you see somebody playing like this, did you even notice that I completed an encampment? I mean, look at this, boom, taker, gone, capped, like a few shots, everything just dies. And that is how it is to play with the Nocturno. In the progression game, I'm talking Stonewood and Plankerton here, with a character that really boosts it up like crazy. This here is the 4th super encampment. And again, yes, I'm strong, but I'm still capped. The game has been updated, so we are now capped like a great deal more than we were before when playing in lower powered missions. So I'm capped to the best that I can be for the end of Stonewood, and I'm just eating this like crazy. It is so silly, and this here is pretty much how my progression game was in the early part of Fortnite. I had the Nocturno, I had the Blazing Masamune, the sword, the fire sword, so I could just eat everything like crazy. So even though the game was a lot harder in many ways, like in the old days, in the early access, it was pretty easy for those of us that had the really good founder packs, because we had the equipment to just like kill through the game. I never really considered headshotting that much because I could just spray my like through everything. It wasn't really till I reached mid-Canny Valley I started thinking about, should I start aiming? You know, because I could just spray right and left and everything would die. And that is really one of the main reasons the Nocturno has been so hyped. It's the face of the game, no question about it. It's on every poster. It is crazy for development, and this here is like the newest hype that has been around it. 25 players were given a Nocturno without having bought the Ultimate Founders Edition, and it's an inclusive skin for us, those of us that have that. And it had better rolls, because the rolls on the Nocturno are fixed, but they had been given like much better weapons than what we had. And of course they had to go show it off in forums. I mean, wow, what do you think's gonna happen to your crazy weapon when you go show it off? Anyway, they did. Founders got really pissed, complained about it, and now they're gonna be reverting these OP Nocturnos to whatever the rest of us have, and like end of story. So that is what has happened to the Nocturnos, and the reason I believe we can't get it anymore is because it doesn't really have a place in the game any longer in terms of the high cost to get it compared to how easy it is to obtain similar weapons in the game right now. So, I mean, be happy guys, you have so many really cool weapons in the game now that you can get. Will you ever get your hands on a Nocturno? It may not happen, but let's face it, it is only this weapon, this type of skin that is exclusive to us. They can make it green. They can remove one of the skulls on it and then give it to others, or change one of the perks and then they can give it out to others. So I'm pretty sure that a weapon that has had this amount of high hype on it is going to be added to the game one way or the other. Nothing else than another type of pay package for sure. Regardless guys, that was like sharing a little bit about the Nocturno with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, thank you very much and very much for watching.